Hey King and Queens, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be building these beautiful baby blocks for rentals. First you're going to go to Lowe's and get yourself a 4x8 plywood. We got the ones that are very thin, and have them cut it into an 18x18 squares for you. Yes, Lowe's will cut your wood if you have your measurements. To build this block, you're going to need a nail gun. You're also going to need a hammer of some sort to tap in the staplers. You are going to need the staple. I'm using a T stapler here. This is what it looks like. You're going to need some type of wood glue. You have that one, and you also have the Gorilla Glue as well. This is your 18x18 blocks that was used. A 2x2 and some trim of your desire. You can choose whichever trim that you want to give it the look that you're going for. Next, you're going to take your 18x18 plywood and just lay that 1x2 wood on the edge of it. What I did to this was also use my 18x18 to draw a line. I created like a box illusion and put a line on the sides just so I know exactly where to lay my wood. This saved me a lot of time. But go ahead and place your wood on both sides. You're going to want to let this dry a little bit before you flip it over to start using your T-nailer. And that's what I was referring to earlier. This is how I was able to measure the size to know exactly what length I needed for my wood that was going in the middle, because you want to be able to create a full box. That's all it is. We're just trying to create a square. If you happen to find an 18x18 box somewhere I looked on Amazon, I looked everywhere to get an 18x18 box that was already made, and I could not find it, because it would be a whole lot easier if you can find an 18x18 box, or you can find whatever box of your desire and just add your trim, add your lettering. But now that that was done, I'm just going to go ahead and add more glue to it and start to staple my pieces. Every piece that I added or stapled to this box was glued with some wood glue. We are a rental company, so I make sure I take extra precaution when I'm building stuff, especially when I know I'm building them myself, just so it lasts a whole lot longer with us. After you put your glue, you staple it. That's when you need to be able to tap everything in and staple as needed. We're going to do this to all sizes. So now that size is complete, we're going to go and repeat the same step on the other side. Add your glue, lay your piece, staple, and tap the nailer in. Like I said, we use a T-nailer in this staple gun. This staple gun is very lovely. We was able to use a T-nailer. I'm already begging my husband to return this one and give me a wireless one. But typically the wireless one are a whole lot more heavier, and I don't know if I want to deal with that. But I'm just repeating the same step that we did the first time. We're going to repeat that step to all 4 sizes. Now that we got our size done, the first piece that we went ahead and put the wood glue on, now that it have dried, we're just going to go ahead and staple it where it's needed. I always did 2 staples just to check and see if it was placed correctly before I went ahead and did my entire stapling. That's what you just seen me do. So as a precaution, after building 3 of these blocks, I learned my lesson. Staple 2, check to make sure your placement of your wood is correct. Flip it over, add your staples, and go ahead and nail it in. And now that that's done, we're just going to go ahead and add glue to both sides to go ahead and place it back on our partial box. We're going to take our box and bring it back. Take that wood that you just put the glue on all sides. It is going to fit perfectly in that angle, thanks to Lowe's again. I keep saying Lowe's. Yes, it was Lowe's, not Home Depot this time, because y'all know I love me some Home Depot. But thanks to Lowe's for really being able to help cut our wood. This video is not sponsored whatsoever, but when I see good customer service and recognize it, I cannot help but sing songs about them. So that's why their name is being repeated in this video. Now that you're done with that, we're going to put the top and the bottom pieces together. I went ahead first and I did my measurement just to see how flush and how it fit. Then again, add some glue before you staple. That's the rule of the game. Add glue, add staple, tap it in to secure. What you see me doing here is just making sure this piece was flush in all the way. And like I said, after building 4 of these things, we found a way to just make life easier. Now that it's done, the 4 wood that is in the box is what I'm going to be using as my anchor. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just stapling all 4 sides, and you saw the first thing that I did was add glue to it. Now that it's done, tap, 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 tap. I think you're getting the hang of it, queens. You guys can do this. If I can do it, you definitely can do it too. Let's flip this box and repeat the exact same step to the other side. Measure your wood. I don't know why I was pre-measuring, because all of the sizes are the same, but it was just a habit. And go ahead and make sure everything is flush. Add your glue, and then staple, tap, tap, tap. And that's what I was explaining here to you guys. And now that we're done with all of that, I'm going to show you how I actually re-secure the trim as well. Now that we're done, if you look, you see a little bit of gap because we didn't do a full wood squares on the inside. That's what that gap is. But the beautiful way of how everything fit is I always added some glue first, and then I stapled on the edges, and I stapled on all 8 edges, not just 4. So the 2 top pieces that I put, I stapled on all 8 edges with the staple gun and tap it in. And it is so easy. The trim was the easiest part of this thing. The entire thing was really easy. It was just time consuming. Yes, it was. Or I was just tired. But we went ahead and started to put on our trim. You saw the first thing I did was add my wood glue, and then I went ahead and started to staple on. Tap, 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 ladies. Don't forget, or gentlemen, ladies or gentlemen, tap, tap, tap. We're going to repeat that to all sides. Lift from your placement, add your glue, reposition, staple, and tap. Let's do this for all 4 sizes. If you're more of a visual learner like I am, I'm somebody who, when I'm watching a YouTube video, I'll put the video on mute and just go ahead and watch what people are doing instead of listening to the explanation, because I'm very, very visual. You can go ahead, you're more than welcome to go ahead and do the same, but we're just repeating the steps that we did on the 3 angles. We're going to place our last one. You add your glue, you lay it flush, and you staple and tap. Now, I want you guys to stay tuned. I'm going to take you guys with me to Michael's to get the lettering that we use to create the baby on this box. And everything, like I said, is going to be listed in the description as well. But definitely stay tuned, because we are going to be painting this thing and designing it all in this video. I did want to create a part 1 and a part 2, but I'm like, you know what? I think they can stick around for a 14-minute long video. Now, don't disappoint me. Alright guys, come with me to Michael's. Let's pick out our letters. We're just getting 2 B's, a A, and a Y. I thought I should show you guys how this bad boy looks. Michael have a wide variety of letter and tracing that you can use. These work perfectly given that it was 18 by 18. I think these was a 9 or a 10-inch letter, so it just absolutely worked great. They was each about $6.99, and I thought I should show you guys other options that they have. They had thicker ones as well, but I didn't want too much of a 3D because we're renting and people will be bumping this thing all over the place. So the ones that we picked just happened to work perfectly. After getting these, we took it back to the venue and started to spray paint them silver metallic. I always use the Rust-Oleum brand. It works great. Then I began to paint my box. Make sure all over the box was painted white with a silver trim. Once again, Rust-Oleum has a silver trim in a can, and that's what a metallic silver in a can, and that's what we use here. After that was done, this is the final look for how everything turned out. And now we're just going to go ahead and glue on our lettering and staple them in as well. After you glue on your lettering, when you do the staple and tap it in, it actually leaves scuff marks. That was something that I learned, but you can definitely just go over that with a sponge, spray the spray paint on in a cup or something, tap it and just dab it onto the lettering, and that would cover any fingerprint or anything extra that shows. Now that we added our glue, I got my staple gun. Let's place this baby. Get it, baby? Yeah, I'm corny, I know. Everything I did here was eyeballing. So it would be easier too if you put this on the ground and do your stapling that way, but this way happened to work because I was so beat up. This was a long weekend that was supposed to be my vacation weekend, so I was over it. So yes, guys, we got our first letter on. Let's go ahead and do our A, and then we're gonna go ahead and repeat this 3 more times.